Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to beat Skyrim only using the Woodcutter's axe. So head on down to Riverwood, and you'll find your weapon of choice over here on this table. Now before you begin your epic journey of ultimate lumberjackmanship, you'll need the help of a friend. So deliver a letter to Sven's girlfriend for him, and this absolute Chad of a bard will become your faithful companion. Now make your way over to Whiterun. Kick the snot out of the wolves that get in your way. They're not very tough. Now raid the local farms like the manly Viking man you are. The vegetables you'll be looking for are cabbages, potatoes, leeks, and tomatoes. You won't find any tomatoes outside the city, so head on up to the Jarl's palace and raid his kitchen. Now use your freshly acquired products to make vegetable soup. Then go back to the city gate, drop all of your soup and healing potions on the ground one at a time, and tell Sven to pick them up for you. Now leave the city and fast travel back into the city, and the items you dropped will still be there on the ground. And what's more, Sven will still have everything he picked up in his inventory. Use this duplication trick to get yourself 2 axes and as many healing potions and bowls of soup as you think you'll need for the journey ahead. Now since you're going to be facing a lot of magical enemies, you should travel to the Atronach stone so you can get that sweet 50% absorption. This will not only protect you from spells, but poison and disease as well. Drinking vegetable soup will allow you to bash and power attack infinitely, so even though your attack damage is really low, you can stun lock your enemies or just bash them in the face and run past them. Anyways, cut this guy down to size and bring the Dragonstone back to Whiterun so you can fight your first dragon. Just kidding. You're in no condition to be facing dragons yet, so just hide up in the tower until Irileth kills it for you. Now as you make your way to the Greybeards, you should stop by Froki's shack. Here on this woodcutting log you can find an extra axe, and more importantly, the Diadem of the Savant, which is going to come in handy later on. On the way up the mountain you'll see this woman named Karita, and you'll also find yourself face to face with a frost troll. But don't worry, Karita will protect you. What a shame. Oh look, an amulet of Talos. Anyways, the Greybeards will send you down into this ruin to find an old drinking horn, but it turns out somebody else has already stolen it. So track down the thief, beat the crap out of them, and bring the horn back to the Greybeards. Then go back to the tomb that originally had the horn in it, touch the sarcophagus on which it sat, and you'll receive a free dragon soul. Now head over to the word wall at Meridia's temple, and learn the first word of Elemental Fury. This shout will dramatically increase your attack speed, and speed is exactly how we're going to make up for the axe's low damage. Unfortunately, the effects of the shout don't last very long, so your next objective will be to lengthen that. Wearing the amulet and receiving the blessing of Talos will reduce your shout cooldown by 40%, but with a little legwork we can actually do better. So head up to the inverted Viking boat and join the companions. You're a big guy, you've got hairy armpits, so impressing them will be easy. Now accept whatever missions they give you, as long as you can use your axe to do them. Somehow, wolves are getting into people's houses in a walled city, but you are a certified wolf stomper, so it won't be a problem for you. Later on, you'll get attacked by these guys called the Silver Hand, so beat the heck out of them as well. They tend to carry a lot of gold on them, so make sure you loot that because you'll need it later. Now unfortunately, your base one-handed attack perks won't actually increase your axe's damage, but you can still take the dual-wielding perks that increase your axe's speed. So whip out 2 axes and become a human weed whacker. None of these weaker enemies will be able to withstand your blindingly fast blades of bludgeoning, but your lumberjacking journey is only just beginning. So join the secret furry society, drink the Kool-Aid, and become one of them. Now use Sven to duplicate your Amulet of Talos into 5, and head outside the city. Now activate your floof powers and talk to Sven at the same time, and you'll be able to trade items with him while in furry mode. So give him your Amulets of Talos, and any other jewelry you have, then equip them back onto yourself from his inventory. This will give you a 100% cooldown reduction on your shouts, which means you can shout infinitely when in human mode. Now go to Dragontooth Crater so you can learn the next word of Elemental Fury and take down your first dragon. So chop his ugly mug into fish bait and use his soul to increase your swing speed. Easy peasy. Your next stop is Shriekwind Bastion. You'll find a bunch of vampires inside, but this will not be an issue for you. Doesn't matter how much sparkly magic they sling at you. It can't save them from 50 axes to the face at 100 miles an hour. So slice this dried out zombie into beef jerky and claim the final word of Elemental Fury. Keep killing dragons so you can unlock your shouts. They won't stand a chance against you at this point. And now it's time to learn a different kind of shout that will stack with the one you know. So head over to Windhelm or Solitude so you can join the Civil War, and on your second mission they'll send you to look for the Jagged Crown. You're basically a one-man army at this point, so you won't have any trouble with human opponents. Once you're inside, you should kill the Zombie King and take his crown, mostly because it looks cool, and you'll also find the first word of Slow Time. Now combine Elemental Fury and Slow Time, and you'll move super fast while your enemies move super slow. Unfortunately, the effects of Slow Time won't last very long, but learning more words will improve that. So head over to Hag's End, kick the snot out of these deer-head-looking hippies, and you'll find the next word. When your one-handed reaches 50, you can take the next rank of Dual Flurry for even greater swing speed. At this point, you'll be able to move so fast that even the camera will have trouble keeping up with you sometimes, and that's how you know you're on the right track. Now, eventually, the leader of the companions will get murdered, and seeing as times are tough, we really can't be letting any prime rib go to waste. The other companions will send you to go beat the heck out of a bunch of ghosts, and then you'll get to become their new leader. So with your newfound privileges, go talk to Aethys and get him to train your one-handed skill. He will of course charge you for it, but if you make him your follower, then you can just swipe your cash back from his pockets after every trained level. He can train your one-handed skill up to 75, which will increase your weapon damage up to 7, and allow you to take dual savagery. This is the only perk in the game that will actually increase your damage, and only when doing dual-wielding power attacks. Now grab at least 3 or 4 large silver platters, because you're going to need them to reach the final word of Slow Time, which is in Labyrinthian. Normally you'd have to do the College of Winterhold questline to get there, but that's probably the most boring questline in the game, so you don't want to do that. So run over here and jump on these rocks so you can get into Labyrinthian through the back door. Once you're inside, take out one of the platters you stole, hold it up against the wall opposite of the door, and run at it at full speed. This will cause you to phase through the wall like it isn't even there, and you'll get past the first barricade. The next obstacle is a closed gate, but fortunately you can just squeeze your large muscular arm through the bars and pull the release lever. Now for the next barricaded door, the wall next to it is hard to phase through, so this time use the whirlwind sprint shout to zip through it. Make sure to recollect your platters for future use. And your final obstacle is another closed gate. So do the whirlwind plate trick again, and you'll find yourself near the word wall you've been looking for. Learning the word might awaken some ghost zombies, so just use your newfound knowledge to beat them back into the dirt. And use the whirlwind plate trick once again to escape. Now with all 3 words of slow time, you can reduce the flow of time to 10%, and for 16 seconds at a time you will be the fastest man alive. However, you still haven't reached your full potential, and we can extend the duration of slow time even further. So head over to Redwater Den, which should be around here somewhere. Go down into the basement, order some of the good stuff, and have yourself a drink. However, in a stunning twist, it turns out it was just cheap whiskey. And also, you've been kidnapped by vampires. But fortunately, they left a spell book on the floor that can teach you telekinesis. So use it to grab the key and bust on out of there. Now beat the faces of any vampires that get in your way. They're a bunch of basement dwellers, you're a tree-chopping Chad, so mince them into a pile of giblets. Anyways, once you're out of there, head back to Whiterun and duplicate the Diadem of the Savant until you have 20 of them. Now use Sven to re-equip all of your amulets and diadems. Make sure you equip them one at a time, or their effects won't stack properly. And once you're done, your 20 diadems will make it so that your spells cost nothing at all to cast. So use telekinesis to pick up a small object, and fast travel across the map while you're still holding on to it. Once you've arrived at your destination, you'll find that your alteration skill has reached 100. So take all the main perks until you can take the perk called Stability. This will make the effects of alteration last 50% longer, which includes slow time. This is Forelhost, one of the toughest dungeons in Skyrim, and this is on expert difficulty. Let's see just how powerful your slow time shout has become.
So this is Jack's terrifying true form.
Easy peasy, they didn't stand a chance. You can also pick up the Ancient Nord armor here, which looks pretty good with the jagged crown. And that's pretty much it. That's how you beat Skyrim as a lumberjack. So use your newfound power and go chop some trees.